Excellent. So welcome everybody to the Zoom call, and for those of you watching this by video, and I hope you enjoy it. It's going to be a lot of information to get through in just the next 5 or 6 hours. Sorry, that's an old joke I used to use. It's going to be, I'm going to try and keep it down to an hour, but there's so much stuff to get through, I probably won't be able to. But I'll get through as quickly as I can, because you have the option of being able to go back and look at the video. I'll post the video in the next few hours after this call's finished. So welcome to Wealth Warriors. I'm going to switch over to my presentation now, and we'll go through the presentation. Any of you that have questions, then you can put them in the chat directly to me, and I'll get to them later. And if we have no interlopers, some of you, I just explained to some of you what that's all about. If we have nobody bombing this meeting, trying to put their own opinion across to the rest of us, then we can open it up to a general chat a bit later. Although I realise that some of you are a little bit reluctant to chat, shy little things that you are, shy little wallflowers that you are. So let's switch over to my Zoom presentation. And there we are. Move that out of the way. Brilliant. We're on a roll now. So welcome to Wealth Warriors. And Wealth Warriors, I like this image of 4 different weapons, because at the moment we actually do have 4 different platforms. So 2 of them are a bit dud, but we'll cover that in a minute. But 2 of them are really, really good. They're really strong, and we're loving them very, very much. So welcome to Wealth Warriors, and of course you can tell from just from me saying that I'm honest with you. I don't try and sugarcoat things. I don't paint things that don't work as if they work. We're quick to get rid of things that don't work and move on and replace them. So welcome to Wealth Warriors. I love this expression, financial freedom fighters, because I really do see us as the small band of rebels living in the jungle, fighting against all the forces marshaled against them. The coup, the government that was overthrown by an illegal coup. And I really do feel like that. And if those of you that get involved with me in the freedom movement, which is part of Wealth Warriors, you haven't got to get involved in that. But those of you who do will understand as well where that sort of feeling comes from, because we are not the masters of our own destiny unless we take deliberate steps to break away from the matrix, the control matrix that's in place to keep us all incredibly poor. And I understand, being poor or living in poverty is a relative thing. If you have a job in the Western world, you're among the top 10% earners in the whole world. So poverty is only a relative thing. But of course, it costs more to live in the UK and in the US and in Canada and so on. And we all have dreams and goals. We should be able to achieve our dreams and goals for our lifetime without too much interference, without too many setbacks, without too many things going wrong. If we're prepared to work hard, we should all be able to achieve financial freedom within our lifetime. And the fact that so many people can't is a real indication that we all live in some sort of system that keeps us as the underdog. It keeps us down. And things that I've learned over the last few years, and things that you'll learn if you stay on this journey with me, is that that's exactly what's happened. There is a system designed to keep us in our place, and our place is not at the top of the table. It's a lot further down than that. So I'm not going to go through that too much tonight. Okay, sorry, Sean. I just read your message and it threw me off a little bit. So let's move into our presentation. The first thing we're going to have is a disclaimer, because nothing in this presentation is financial advice or investment advice. I'm not qualified, and even if I was qualified, I wouldn't give you advice. Your decisions have to be your decisions. Wealth Warriors is not an investment platform, it's a community. If you do decide to invest in any of the platforms discussed in this presentation, only use money you can comfortably afford to lose, and carry out your own due diligence. I do a lot of due diligence. A lot of people take what I've looked at and they research it some more themselves, which I would recommend. Don't just take my word for it. Do your own due diligence, because at the end of the day, it's your money and it's your life. Have a strategy to recoup your initial investment as soon as possible, and have a strategy to create a large income over time by withdrawing a percentage of the profits. Now, the reason we talk about this is because if you were to get involved in stocks and shares and you were to buy some stocks or buy some shares and something went wrong with that company, it's not normal that the share would go through the floor. There would be some inherent value in that share so that you could sell it and get some of your money back. With some of the things we get involved with, for example, with cryptocurrencies or some of the companies that portray themselves as being an investment platform, a trading platform, an arbitrage platform, or whatever else they purport to be, if they're set up so that they're going to run away with your money, you will lose all of your money. No doubt about it. It's not, there's nothing left to salvage because that's the way the game is set up. Sometimes that these scam businesses, just take your money and you never get it back again. And in fact, I'm going to go through that right now because the problem with online businesses, there are just too many scams out there, and a scam is one that is set up deliberately to take your money off of you in such a way that at some point the people that have your money can pull the plug and they're gone and they've taken your money. And it's so much easier for them to do it now because it's we pay these things in cryptocurrency, and as you know, once you've sent your cryptocurrency, it's no longer yours. If you make a payment on a Visa card or a MasterCard or from a bank account and something goes wrong with that, there are systems in place for you to recover your money. With crypto, there isn't. You've given it over and it's gone. Okay. And some of these scams are really, really cleverly set up. Some of them aren't. Some of them are badly set up and you can spot them coming a mile off. So and that's what I do pretty much 20 times a week is find these scam companies so that we can avoid them. But not all businesses are scams. Some of them are just poorly run. They're poorly set up. They don't have enough capital. They don't have enough staff. They don't have the expertise they claim to have. They say, "Give me this money, and I'll give you even more money back." But they've got no way of guaranteeing that. And of course, things go wrong, and we'll see that even one of the platforms we've selected that happened to very recently. But we'll have an update on TLC a bit later in the program. And again, these businesses. So if you get involved in a scam, they take your money. Your money's gone. If you get involved in a business that's poorly run, then the chance of you getting your money back is pretty low. I've only known of one business in recent history that when the business failed, everybody got all their money back. Okay, and that was I'd just like to be recognised for the fact that that was one click. It was a business I was the CEO of, and I made sure that before we closed the doors, every single person who was owed any sort of bonus or any commission, they received it all. Of course, some people did lose money, but they weren't the customers, they weren't the clients. So so with businesses that are poorly run, you don't get your money back, and businesses aren't scams and don't go bust. They can get shut down by regulators, and if the regulators shut down a business, you still don't get your money back. Now, the regulators are meant to be there, if they're to be believed, of course, they're there to make sure that the investors are protected so that if there is a scam or a poorly run business, that nobody gets hurt. Well, if that's the case, why don't we get our money back when they close these businesses down? And the answer is that they lie to us. They're not really there to protect us. They're there to prevent us from making money in these online businesses. That's exactly what the regulators are for. The other problem with online businesses is not a money issue. It doesn't matter how much money you make, because money in our lives is an outflowing commodity. When you want to make money because you've got bills to pay, you've got things to pay, you want to go on a holiday, you want to buy a car, you want to buy a house. So you've got money flowing away from you all the time. And so it doesn't matter how much money you make in online businesses, you cannot become truly free. You can't become financially free. You can't become free for your time and free from government control. It doesn't matter how much money you make, you need to do other things in order to be free. And that's part of what we're talking about a bit later. So what can we do about this? There's all this stuff stacked against us. So individually, if we're left to our own devices, 99.99% of us will just fall for the same scams, the same badly run businesses over and over and over. But collectively, we can be a bit more intelligent than that. Collectively, I'm prepared to step into the breach and try something. And if I get scammed or if I lose my money, I'll say to you guys, don't do it. And sometimes we'll have 10 or 15 of us get involved. The Wealth Warriors community is a lot bigger than even I've realised. I've had some great messages from people that I haven't heard from for a little while. They don't turn up on the Zoom calls, but they're watching what we're doing. Sending me private messages and asking me questions and so on. So I'm very pleased that Wealth Warriors is a lot bigger than I thought it was. And then collectively, we can send a few people into the vanguard to make the mistake, and then say to everybody else, "Don't do that. That's a scam. That's a badly run business. Whatever." Okay, so the idea is that we protect the community. Okay, so who would want to be the first one to cross a minefield? No, thank you. I'd rather follow somebody who's already crossed safely, and that's kind of what we're doing. That's the principle that we're following, because we're safer together. And with safety comes time. It's not you don't see that as a natural correlation, but when you can put your money into something and that money is going to produce the return in the right timescales at the right amount over a long period of time, then you have time. If you know that money is not going to be wasted, it's not going to be taken away from you, then you can build on that small start over a period of time because your money is safe. And so that's what we look for in a platform when we get involved. We want to start small and build big, because it doesn't matter how much you start any of these businesses with. We're all at different levels relatively. We put in the same amount relatively. So if you have $5,000 to play with, then that $5,000 you don't want to just get $100 a month back from that. But if you want to get a significant return. If you only get involved at $100 a month, then getting back $10 or $15 a month is a good return. Okay, so we all start smaller than we would like, and we want to build on that. So that's the basic principle of the platforms we get involved with. We want to develop a plan and follow that plan so that we can become truly free. So what are the benefits? Benefit one, you'll never lose all of your money to a scammer again. Okay, benefit two, your team will develop loyalty and commitment. And that's something you don't see in this business very often. In fact, I've never seen it in anything. I was talking to somebody today and they were asking my advice. And they were so worried that I wasn't going to give them some advice and help them. They said, if you want me to, I can leave what I'm doing over here and come and sign up with you. I said, there's no need to do that. I'm happy to help you. We're all, brothers and sisters. We're all trying to achieve the same thing. We all want the same thing. So more than happy to help you. Okay. And your team will develop loyalty and commitment if you act like that if you act like that, people will become loyal and become committed to the cause. And we, in Wealth Warriors, that's absolutely fundamental to what we're doing. You can't build a Wealth Warriors business without your team becoming loyal and being committed to you. You can protect your permanent network of contacts. And again, that's not something you see very often because very often people will get into something they think is good. They'll bring all their friends, their family, their relatives, their work colleagues, and so on. And all of a sudden, what they realize is they've been caught out in a scam or a badly run business. And not only do they lose all their money, all of these friends and colleagues that they brought in, they lose all their money. And now, of course, nobody ever wants to talk to them again. At the next wedding they go to, there's a little table in the corner which is just for them, So you don't want that. You want to be able to build loyalty and commitment and friendship with your network, your permanent network going on into the future. And Wealth Warriors is the only program around that allows you to do that. You can build future business much faster with far more profit. And an example of this is, imagine we have 3 platforms and you have 10 people in 3 platforms. Okay, and then we bring in a 4th platform. All of a sudden, you have 10 people slot straight into that 4th platform, and it's much faster to build your business because you already have the team in place, and the team adopts the platform. You don't have to start again. You don't start every platform with 0 people. You start every platform with the team you've got in the existing platforms. So it's much faster, and you make far more money by doing that. Benefit 5 is build one business and grow all 4 businesses. So what happens there is that you have, maybe you're only interested in one of the platforms we're working with. Okay, so you go out there and that's all you're talking about. You're not talking about any of the others. but you get people interested in that one business and bring them along to Wealth Warriors groups. And we're talking now about all four platforms. And so somebody who joined you in platform one suddenly realizes that they actually need to sign up with you in platforms 2, 3, and 4, even though you've not actually told them anything about it. I'm telling them about it now, and they realize that it's more important to be part of the Wealth Warriors program than it is just to be in that one platform. Okay, because this is the way that you can become financially free, you can generate personal wealth, you can generate generational wealth, and you can become free, literally free. Okay, benefit 6, reclaim lost money and recent expenditure. This is within one of our platforms. So money that you've lost in the past, money you've spent in the past, you can reclaim. I'm not going to go into that now. We'll cover that a little bit in the next little while. Number 7, become free and wealthy and live an abundant life. And until I started getting involved in one of these programs, I'd never heard of an abundant life. You know, just imagine what an abundant life would be to you. You have enough of everything you could possibly want. You know, whether it's homes or holidays or vehicles or jewelry or whatever, you know, nice shoes. I know some of you like nice shoes. I'm looking at a list of men here, but okay, so you know, it doesn't matter what it is that an abundant life means to you. Just imagine what an abundant life would be like. There'd be no, you know, peace of mind from you know, we're no worry about money, no worry about bills, no worry about taxes, no worry about restrictions on travel or anything at all. You can become absolutely free and wealthy and live an abundant life. So where's my, there it is. There we go. So what I'm going to show you is a quick illustration of how it works. Let's show you the assumptions. Imagine Wealth Warriors has 4 platforms on the go, and you have 10 people in your group, in your team, and all of those teams are identical within all 4 platforms. So you're making $1,000 per month in each of the 4 platforms. I don't know if you will be. You know, in some you might make 1,000, in some you might make 2,000, in some you might make 500. It depends on the platform. So therefore, in this illustration, your total income is 4,000 per month. So let's have a look at what that looks like. So in platform 1, you have 10 people. Alan's introduced all the A's, Bella's introduced all the B's, and Chris has introduced all the C's. And your income from that is $1,000 per month down at the bottom of the screen. Okay, so let's just move that out the way a little bit so as we can bring in platform 2. Platform 2, you slot the same team into the same positions within the same within platform 2, and all of a sudden your income is $2,000 per month. So nothing, you haven't done anything different apart from you now have 2 platforms on the go. Let's imagine now we have a third platform. We'll call it platform 3, and you have the same people in the same positions, in the same, in platform 3, and your income is $3,000 per month, and we'll do the same again with platform 4. You have the same 10 people in the same positions, so your income is $4,000 per month. So that's great. You can see how that's going to work. But now what happens is something happens to platform 4. Either the platform wasn't as well run as we thought. You know, the guy, something happened to him. He didn't want to do it anymore, and there was nobody could take over. He's not got a succession plan. Maybe the regulators closed him down. Maybe that part of the industry became non-viable. Okay, but all of a sudden, platform 4 has gone. What's happened to your income? This is the important. So this isn't the important part. This is the second most important part. So we've been involved with a scam business or a badly run business. The business is now gone. Your income hasn't been lost. You've just dropped to $3,000 per month. So you still have a nice income. Okay, it's just reduced from what it was when we had 4 platforms. But better than that, what's happened to the relationship between you and your permanent network? Nothing. These people don't hate you. They'll invite you to a wedding. You can sit on one of the main tables with everybody else. Okay, they will. They still like you because you're still helping them work within these other 3 platforms to make an income. Okay, so this is the whole principle of Wealth Warriors. We don't do things just for what we can get. We build the community because for what the community can get. Now, Within Wealth Warriors, we go out and we find a platform to replace platform 4, we'll call it platform 5, and you automatically slot the same people into the same positions within platform 5, and your income suddenly jumps up to $4,000 per month. You imagine starting a new business and you have to work hard to build a little team of 10 or 11 people. Okay, you don't have to do that. As soon as we introduce platform 5, you have 10 people in that business if we do this correctly. And your income has jumped up now to $4,000 per month. So that's how Wealth Warriors works. However, there are some rules. If you want those benefits, you've got to follow the rules. And the rules are, don't sign up in any other platforms that come along. If it's a good platform, we will get to it at some point. Okay, and you might think this is kind of draconian or me telling people what to do. I suppose I am. But what I'm saying is if you do this, if you just sign up with lots of other platforms that come along, then you will find it very difficult to have the benefits of Wealth Warriors, simply because you'll be in the same configuration within 3 or 4 businesses, and all of your team will be as well. And yet, in another business, all of a sudden, you're in a different position. Other people have come in and or left, and they're doing something different from what you're doing. Okay, and all of a sudden, this whole structure that you're trying to build of a permanent community starts to crumble and starts to fall apart. Okay, and so if you want to just so don't sign up on any other platforms to come along, because you will be destroying the very thing you want to build. It's as simple as that. A community will not survive people just doing their own thing. It just won't. Do sign up in all the platforms that we adopt. You might look at one of the platforms and say, brilliant, I love that. The second one, well, okay, well, I'll do it. But the other two, I'm not keen on. Do them all anyway. Just sign up in all of them. Maintain the lines of sponsorship anyway. You'll see one of the criteria is that we like everybody to be able to get in for $100 or thereabouts. Okay, so get in, even if you don't like the platform, get in, spend $100, maintain your position within the organization. Okay, because what that means is when you bring people into other platforms, they will spill out into all the existing platforms. Okay, and some of those people will say, I don't like platform 1, but I love platform 3. I'm going to put all my effort into that. And of course, because you're signed up in that, you have benefit for that. So do sign up in all the platforms we adopt. Again, you can't really have the success that you're looking for if you don't do that. Do maintain lines of sponsorship across all platforms. That's an absolute must, which is why we avoid binary platforms, we avoid force matrices, we avoid tertiary or tertiary, or I'm not quite sure how to say it, but if you have these matrices, because you can't maintain lines of sponsorship across all platforms, if you get involved in those programs, it's only ever unilevel. Do get your personally introduced people to do the same. So teach them what I'm teaching you now. Do support your own people by learning about all of the platforms we adopt. You don't have to be an expert, but just know enough to answer a few questions, know enough to be able to put people in the right Telegram groups to get the right information, know enough to get people to go to the Zooms to look at the platforms. Okay, you don't need to be an expert yourself. I'd suggest be an expert in the one that you like the most and just know a little bit about the others. So why do we worry about the rules? Because, in the Navy, I was always told that the rules are for the guidance of wise men and for the guidance of wise men and the instruction of fools. So why do we worry about the rules? Well, this isn't anything to do with man-made rules. This is kind of just a natural situation we find ourselves in. If you want the benefits, you must follow the rules. If you don't follow the rules, you won't get the benefits. It's not me saying, you can't be a wealth warrior. Okay, if you don't follow the rules, you'll find your group don't follow the rules. And if nobody follows the rules, then there is no wealth warriors, and therefore all the benefits are closed off to you. You'll see other people succeeding in wealth warriors, building multiple platforms, having permanent networks of people out there, being loyal and building things fast, making lots of money as soon as a new platform comes along, and it won't be happening for you. And the answer is you're not following the rules, because your people will do what you do. All of these businesses are duplicable, and based on that, they will do, your people always do what you do, but they won't do it to the same level you do. The rules are to ensure you get security of income, build your permanent network, and become wealthy and live an abundant life. Personally, I think if that's the trade-off, follow some rules and have all of that. I'm good with that. You'll also miss out on all the drama associated with the latest scam or failed business or rug pull. I know that I've met lots of people in this business that not necessarily in Wealth Warriors, but in online businesses, and they absolutely love the drama. They're in there threatening and hating people and swearing and and they just love all the drama of the rug pulls. Um, but unfortunately, if you're involved in Wealth Warriors, you'll have to forego all the drama because we won't get involved in scams and rug pulls very often. And even when we do, we'll still have plans to mitigate those losses. Being community centric means you put the community first, not yourself. You can't do both. And I've had lots of so-called gurus or mentors or big networkers come to me and say, "Tell me about Wealth Warriors. How are you producing this sort of result?" And when I explain to them that they need to be community centric, they say, "Yeah, we do that. We put people first, and then we do this, and we get all these bonuses." And I say, "Well, you're not really putting the community first. You're not putting people first. You got to put the community first, not the people, not individual people, not yourself. Put the community first. If you grow the community, if you do everything you can to protect the community, then you will have all the money, you will have all the people, but first the community." Okay, and they don't understand it. They don't get it. They think they do. They say they do, but they don't get it. I can see it in their eyes. They don't understand because you really have to sell your soul to putting the community first. Okay. Platforms come and go, but the community is permanent. It doesn't matter about the platforms. The ones we're with now, hopefully they'll last. But I said this about the last platforms when we were involved and then we weren't. Okay. Platforms come and go. You can be part of Wealth Warriors only if you follow the rules. If you don't follow the rules, it's not me saying you're not a Wealth Warrior. You're disqualifying yourself from being a Wealth Warrior. So, what are the criteria for adopting a platform? One, it must be available in the whole world. We can't have some people in our lines of sponsorship in the US are involved in one platform, and in another platform, the US is excluded. So it's got to be available for the whole world. It must have a unilevel compensation plan to avoid all of these problems I was saying just now with binaries and matrices and so on. People must be able to join for free or get involved in a passive income program for a very low entry cost, i.e. $100. Okay, and the two main programs we've got now, you can actually sign up for free. You don't earn any money while it's free, but you can maintain your line of sponsorship absolutely free of charge. And the combination of 1, 2, and 3 means that we can maintain the lines of sponsorship. That's the most important thing. Number 4, it must be based on real world applications, not just a money game or a shell game or a promise of you give me this much and I'll give you 5% per day for the next 15 days. That's all rubbish. Okay, it's got to be based on a real world application. You've got to be able to verify that real world application. We must be able to verify, I just said this, we must be able to verify the company's legal status and its involvement in the real world activities. I'm amazed how many people say, "Oh, this company's doing arbitrage." And I say, "Okay, show me show me the arbitrage they're doing." "Oh, well, yeah, we just make 15% every 15 days. So, we don't know, we don't see it." And even when people do show me a list of trades, I say, "Well, how do I know that's their trades? How do I know what platform they're trading on?" There's nothing on that list of trades that tells me that came from them. And of course, people don't like it, but if you're going to do due diligence, you've got to do it properly. If possible, we must be able to meet the CEO or the business owner, and having met him, we must have gotten all our questions answered. And again, 2 of the programs we're involved with, I've actually done this with the CEOs and the business owners, sometimes just by Zoom, but sometimes in person. Okay. The compensation plan must be viable and sustainable. And I've seen so many compensation plans, they just don't work. All you have to do is run a calculator over it or put it in a spreadsheet. And you say, "Well, if this and this and this happens, there's no money left for them." And they've got to have money to run the company, but they've given it all to us, so it's not viable. The membership of Wealth Warriors must all be able to get behind the project. And by that, I mean, it doesn't offend anybody's morals. It doesn't offend anybody's sensibilities. Okay, therefore we stay away from money gambling, so gambling, money lending. We even stay away from sports platforms, even though technically it's sports forecasting. Let's put it that way is not an illegal activity, but there are a number of people within that we want to get involved in Wealth Warriors that don't want to get involved in that. So you can't force somebody to do that. So here's the platforms that we've adopted. One of them is called Trade Like Crazy, TLC. The current position is the company have stopped allowing withdrawals from the platform, and we're not very happy about that. But they have posted a message that will convert your money into points to facilitate entry into the replacement platforms that they are proposing. Blimey. I didn't think that through when I wrote it. Okay. They always had a plan to change from being a trading company to being a copy trading company, and so you would give them your money, they would trade it for you, and you'd make some money. But because of this upset, this miscalculation, if that's what it was, they're pulling those plans forward. They're doing that a little bit earlier than they wanted to, and they're going to convert whatever money you've got in there into points, and basically those points are meant to be, and there is a slight update to this, so don't get too upset. Those points are being converted so that they can pay your brokerage fees when it turns into copy trading. So personally, Wealth Warriors is not promoting TLC because of this. There's upset. There's nothing settled yet, so we're not promoting it. And I'm suggesting if you are in TLC, don't sign new people into it. Do not apply, whatever you do not apply for or send the $500 to purchase a new MasterCard. Okay, because if this does turn out to be, if what they're telling us now about where the evolution of the company turns out to be a lie, we don't want to have given them more money recently. Whatever money they've got from us now, we can't do anything about that. But don't give them any more money, basically. We will eventually drop TLC and replace it. And I added the word in there probably because what they're promising now may be good enough for us to continue working with them. So we'll take that under advisement. We'll keep looking at that. So if you log into your platform, your TLC platform, you will get this message. And the message says, your TLC account has been updated with the amount owed to you for capital repayment. Sorry, where's my... There we go. Your TLC account has been updated with the amount owed to you for capital repayment. This balance has been converted into points which can be used to cover commission fees on our copy trading platform. The platform will launch between October the 8th and the 15th, so that's from tomorrow onwards. And you can log in using your TLC account to transfer points to your balance for commission payments. So this is the first message they sent, and nobody likes this because, yes, we will have to pay commission fees, but we wanted our money converted to money. So we wanted our money that's in TLC converted to money that we can trade with, not just pay the commission fees. So what you need to do, this is the second part of the same message. What you need to do, please note that upon your first login, your TLC account will be merged into copy trading platform. So at some point, you'll log into your TLC account and you will be converted to a copy trading platform. Stay tuned for more updates and thank you for your continued support. Assigned points, the amount of assigned points will appear here upon calculation by the system. So that's when you first log into the system. So there's been a change to that. There was a message posted earlier in the week, I believe, on September the 26th, or from a meeting on September the 26th. It says it's about a call, and it said that we were informed about the current situation and future plans. The leaders also had the opportunity to ask questions that were answered by TLC employees. So the challenge TLC are reporting is that they made a loss in their trading activities. They made such a big loss they can't afford to pay anybody their winnings. Now, the challenge I have with that is that a few things. One is if they are really trading, then they just report their losses in the trading and they say, sorry, we lost this, and therefore there's no, we didn't make you any profit. However, we still have money to trade. So tomorrow we're going to trade again and you can have your profits from tomorrow's trading. So I don't understand how today's trading caused such a big loss that there's no trading happening tomorrow. There should still be a small amount of trading going on. The second thing is they did say that of the 20 traders they have, nobody trades more than 5%. Well, you can't have significant losses if you have people trading 5%, unless all of them were trading in exactly the same way on exactly the same instruments, in which case that's just crap, in my opinion. So the report on the loss in trading, for the first time, a significant loss in trading was reported, although positive results had previously been shared on Telegram. Specifically, 19 traders made bad trades that led to losses. The main responsible trader, Travis, tried to make up the losses, but this was not possible in the short time. Okay, so it wasn't possible then. Why hasn't he continued to try now? I don't know. So Paul also showed his own account on which he also tried to retrace the trades and lost over 100,000 USDT. Again, the numbers that they purport to be trading with 100,000 USDT should be a drop in the ocean. TLC immediately informed the community about this situation. We asked them to show the trade history. The 19 traders affected were fired. Well, thank you, but too little, too late. Future plans and reversal of packages. A plan has been drawn up. So this is from the same call. A plan has been drawn up to ensure that all members who've suffered losses get their money back. Yay! An example of the calculation, anyone who invests 10,000 USDT and has already withdrawn 4,000 USDT will be given 6,000 USDT for copy trading. Brilliant. Okay. Members who've already withdrawn more than they invested, such as 5,000 USDT, withdrawn on an investment of 1,000 USDT, are excluded from the repayment. Boo! Because, that was never part of the original deal. The idea is that we put some money in, they trade and make us more money. The successful copy trading is to be expanded and introduced earlier than planned, probably from October the 8th. In addition, the TLC back office will go back online where everyone can see the outstanding amounts that are to be refunded. Repayments will be made entirely from the proceeds of copy trading until everyone affected has received their money back. So their money is there, from what they said earlier, is their deposited money, not their current earnings. So again, better than nothing, but not really what we want. Some of us have put a little in, worked hard over the months to turn that into a lot, and we're not going to get anything back for it. So very happy about that. So again, from the same meeting, there are two options for the community. One is to participate in copy trading with new capital, and two is to wait until the full repayment is made. Well, there should be a third option there, and that is those that have profits in their account should be offered something, even if it's 50%, 20%, 25% of those profits. I don't think it's right for the company to say you're getting nothing just because we were trying to put our money back into the system to grow our profits. The fact that we've done that, we trusted them, we gave them our winnings back, and now we're being penalised for that. So I don't think that's fair. In addition, TLC will give to all members who are in the red 20% TLC tokens as a staking bonus, which in turn generate coins. So that's TLC's own tokens, I guess. The call promised that payouts will be made as quickly as possible. That we were assured their support for further questions and announced that they would hold another leader call after the platform was launched. Okay, so if you want to go on that leader call, then by all means just keep an eye out for it. So that's the end of the update on TLC. The next one is Matrix Freedom. And the company has split the process into two distinct strands. One is Roadmap to Freedom, and the second is I Am Free. If you signed up for Roadmap to Freedom originally, like I did, and you've signed different agreements, you need to go back in and re-sign the agreements. Also, the signing process for those agreements is much, much better now than it was Okay, so you need to re-sign all of the agreements because the wording has changed to include the roadmap to freedom and the I am free. So the roadmap to freedom covers all the financial aspects of the system. I am free covers all of the lawful requirements to become free, and you can still sign up as a member for free. You can enroll for one or other or both of these strands. It's entirely up to you. But whichever one you go, whichever strand you go down, you need to go commit yourself to a fairly intense period of learning from videos and webinars. Okay, and you need to pass an assessment because these people are not joking. They can get you free, but you need to do the work. It's not one of these things where you can just plug in, pay a bit of money, and it all happens. No, you actually need to know what you're doing, because if you don't know what you're doing, it can very quickly be undone. And you don't want that. You don't want to go through this process of getting free, moving all the allodial titles of everything you own into a private trust and making money and creating currency for yourself, writing off mortgages and so on. Then all of a sudden, through some stupid thing, all of that gets undone. Okay, so you need to be accredited. You need to take a test to make sure that you know what you're doing. So just to let you know that. You can enroll for one or other or both. Being in either process does not take away from your ability to be an affiliate or a network organizer. Not everybody, this is different from most programs in that just because you sign up as a member, it doesn't mean you are an affiliate automatically. If you want to be an affiliate, you have to request it. You get given an affiliate link and an affiliate password for a different part of the site. Okay, and the same with network organizer. Now, an affiliate has members and a network organizer has affiliates and members. Okay, so they're both different. You don't automatically end up as an affiliate or a network organizer just because you signed up as a member. So moving swiftly on, the roadmap to freedom. You can these are examples of things you can do. You can recoup your checking account and your current account for your outgoings for 2022, and it costs £1,000, sorry, pounds sterling, British money per personal account, and £2,000 per business account. You can recoup subsequent years of personal and business banking payments. So at the moment we're claiming about 2022. In January we'll start claiming about 2023 and 2024, and in January 2025 we'll claim back. Sorry, January 2026 we'll claim back 2025. So all the money that's ever gone out of your bank accounts, you can claim back. It doesn't matter what it went out for, whether it was a holiday, a car payment, a dinner with friends, your weekly shopping. Doesn't matter why it went out of your bank account. The fact that it left your bank account, you can claim that back and you'll be reimbursed that by the IRS. Okay, and I say it like that because I know some of you are going to start asking me questions about why the IRS. But you can do that year after year after year. You can claim the prior 2 years if you haven't claimed for it before. You can discharge mortgages. So if you have a mortgage, you can just stop paying the interest payments. Okay, you can stop paying your loans. You can stop paying taxes, other debts, council taxes, and inheritance taxes, and so on and so forth. Okay, so you can just get all that taken care of. Now, when you discharge the mortgage, bear in mind you don't actually repay the mortgage. You still have to repay the mortgage when you sell the property. We'll come on to that in a minute. But this just means that you stop paying because you've actually been fooled into thinking you owe your lending bank. Just the very words lending bank or your lender, they didn't lend you anything. They actually created the money that they gave you. It's your money. And they gave it to you. So they created it and gave it to you. And then they said, sign here and you can start repaying interest on it. And interest on what? This is my money. You didn't give me any of your money. You created this money for me and gave it to me. So why am I paying you interest for it? It's my money. Okay, and they know that, and it's actually most people are being defrauded by these lending banks into thinking that because they've received some money, they have to repay it. That's not the situation at all. Of course, if you want to repay, if you want to sign a thing where you repay part of the capital every month, absolutely fine. But there should be no interest involved because they're not lending you any of their money. They created money on your instructions, and so there should be no interest on that. So create new currency. You can say, well, I want $1 million to buy my own Scottish castle. Can I have $1 million, please? Absolutely. Sign here, sign here. There's your $1 million. Okay, I want a new yacht. I want a new car. Okay, whatever it is you want. So this is all under Roadmap to Freedom. This is the financial side of everything. You can create a new currency to acquire a car. Control and shelter your assets in a private trust. And I think I'm going to sneeze in just a few seconds. Okay, you can control and shelter your assets in a private trust so that nobody can take any of it away from you. And it's not just the title you think you have, because if you have a house now, right now, as you sit there, if you have a house that you paid off the mortgage, you think you own it, you absolutely don't own that property. The government still owns that property if it's registered with the land registry in the UK or with, I don't know what the other departments are in different countries. Okay, but if it's registered with the government, it's their property. You are listed as the tenant. You are not the owner. Okay, so to get that free from government control and into your own into your own control, then you start a private trust, and the actual allodial title, the real title of that property, passes into the private trust. Now, you don't own the private trust. You're just the beneficiary of the private trust. So that nobody can touch that house, not even you. Okay, the private trusts are the only people who can do anything with that property. So very interesting part of the world to live. You can create new currency as needed to live a life of abundance. So the Roadmap to Freedom program will discharge your mortgages and loans, discharge your taxes, recoup your personal and business digital bank payments. Okay, actually just give them back to you. Recoup your mortgage and loan face values, create new currency for you to acquire assets and enable you to control your assets in a private trust. The I Am Free program corrects your status and standing, or your status and standing, as we say in the UK. If you're at the moment, most of us are sat there, we have the wrong status. We're actually considered to be by the government or by the state, we're considered to be a dead person. Okay, we were registered as a child or as a baby through our birth certificate, and we didn't return within 7 years to claim back our lawful status, and so therefore the government has created this entity that they convince us is us, but it isn't. We refer to it as our straw man, or our legal person, or a corporate person. Okay, it's a person. It's not a real living flesh being. It's just names on bits of paper that try to describe who we are. Those are that's the person that's controlled by laws and by the judiciary and by the police and by the government. Okay, when we correct our status, we break away from that and we say no. So that's the trustee. So that's the beneficiary of the estate. I am the real person, and I don't wish to deal with you about these taxes and about these loans. Okay, I'm the real person. You're a corporation. There's nothing you can do about it because I'm a real living person. You have no jurisdiction over me. So all of these unlawful contracts you have, for example, with your phone provider through your straw man, you don't want to lose your phone. Your phone provider. You don't want to have to live off the grid and have no mobile phone. So we replaced that unlawful contract with a lawful contract with you. So you to the phone provider as a real living person. It's not easy. It's not difficult, but it just needs to be done. You can set up a private trust to operate for you without you being enjoined to the control matrix. Now, enjoinment means that you must obey what you're being told to, what you're being told to do. You must obey the laws and the rules, and other people have control over what you do. So you break that enjoinment, so therefore you are not joined to them. You are completely separate from you, and they have no jurisdiction in your life. Again, not easy to do, not that difficult. You just need to know how to do it. You can transfer the allodial title of all of your assets to your private trust. So that car that is registered with the DMV is now no longer registered with the DMV. It's your property. It doesn't have to be registered to anybody. It belongs to your private trust. Okay. Engage with the Old Souls Nation Foundation to assure your protection and sovereignty going forward. This is a vision of a friend of mine who wants to build the largest community, freedom community in the world. He refers to it as the Old Souls Nation, and it's going to be a parallel economy. It is a parallel economy, and the only people who can, or the only, people who can live there are people who are free from the matrix. Persons live within the matrix. People are the free, natural life energy person. Sorry, I said that completely wrong. They are the creative energy, the living, breathing, flesh and blood, one of the people. Okay, which is why very often people say, well, they quote the Constitution of the American Constitution or the British Constitution or any of them and say, it says here, "We the people." Yes, but you are not one of we the people. You're a person. You're a corporation. You're not one of we the people. You're not a natural living soul because you just have the wrong status. You can also, if you want to, obtain a one world passport, a driving license, etc., and you become the ambassador of your own nation. You are a sovereign nation. You, as an individual, living, breathing soul, are a sovereign nation if you want to be. So you can have your own passport, you can have your own driving license, and you don't need to comply with the rules of any of the countries that you want to visit. Of course, sometimes it's easier just to have the British passport, the American passport, the French passport, whatever it is, and just sort of go along with that bit, just run with that because it's easier, but you don't have to if you don't want to. So if you want to break free from the matrix, the I am free process corrects the unlawful person to be a lawful person. It removes joinders with the crown the crown corporation or the state. The crown is actually, people don't realize this, the crown is actually the head of the one world order. And so everybody are citizens of the crown. You can stop and settle court cases. You can void all debt contracts. You can void local taxes, and you can void the crown corporate state. It has no relation to you whatsoever. So when you first log in, there's some information here. Learn about Matrix Freedom, what we do. So you click the button and you go watch some videos. Okay, so there's some videos there you can watch. And all I would say is, you can book a call with the consultant, submit a question and so on. Get involved in that, watch the videos, start working your way through the list of them in the menu down the left-hand side, and learn. It's education. So there's a 13-minute video for that and a 102-minute video for that. There's some books. These ebooks are very easy to read. I mean, light reading. They're also available in the Wealth Warriors group. Okay, people have been asking me how's my journey been going, and this is my process to recoup my outgoings from my bank accounts in 2022. So I did have a much larger claim. Because of what's happened recently, they've decided not to do a full claim for $168,000. They've realized that the IRS deal much more quickly with claims under $50,000 than they do with claims over $50,000. Over $50,000, there is paperwork involved. There's more steps. there's more proof, there's more evidence, there's more things to submit, and it just takes a lot longer. Under 50,000, it can all be done on the IRS website. So they decided a little while ago that they would split my one big claim into two small claims, one under 50,000 and one over 50,000. However, we've run out of time this year, and so they're only processing 50,000 under $50,000 claims. If you have a claim in for over $50,000, the last count, I was told that won't be processed. However, in January 2025, you can submit an under 5,000K claim for 2023, an over $50,000 claim for 2023, and the same again for 2024. So, but it takes a few hours to pull the information together. So within a day or so, you can have all four claims in by, in January, which means that next year they won't run out of time before the IRS closes down in November. So you should be able to make full claims next year. But I'm quite excited because I'm disappointed there's another 100,000 that I could have claimed back, but we didn't know the process in time, and it's kind of, frustrating. But the good news is I'm claiming back $50,000 or $48,777 that I wouldn't have even claimed back if I hadn't have been involved in this process. So that's where my bank recoupment is at the moment. The other thing that I'm involved with, I haven't got any information for this or any slides to show you, but there is a process under I Am Free called currency creation, and you can put in a claim to create as much currency as you want. You get charged a certain percentage for that, however much you want to claim. It'll cost you this much. Okay, and I've got a claim for $50,000 of currency creation in the pipework. So that's exciting that I'll be able to get that. I don't know when that's going to happen. I'm catching up with stuff, and I'm going to pass my accreditation as well. Then I'll know more about when that's going to be processed. Blimey, doesn't time get away from me? We've been nearly an hour. Bit Harvest. Now, this is exciting. Bit Harvest is something that we've all been looking forward to and been wanting for quite a long time. And I'll tell you why, but first I'm having some coffee. It's the coffee that keeps me going. Bit Harvest is not an investment, it's a purchase. Okay, and all these scams and shams and rug pulls and everything else all around the world are based on investments and securities and this sort of thing. And if the government wants to shut one of these operations down, it's they just get the Securities and Exchange Commission to give their opinion. And of course, all of these things that the government puts out is only their opinion. I've never seen one that says here are the facts. It says it's our opinion that this is what's happening. They've never bothered to stop and prove that that's what's happening. But there we go. Purchasing something on the internet is legal in every single country in the world, and that's what we're saying is you don't need to. It's not investment. It's not securities. There's nothing like that. It's buy a little electronic device for $1,000 or a tenth of a device for $100, and that's it. You buy it, and as soon as you pay for it, somebody unpacks one, puts the serial number of that device in your account, so it links you to that device. Then somebody physically goes to the booster farm and plugs it into a little USB slot, and within 24 hours, that little sucker is pumping out Bitcoin for you every single day. So $1,000 Bitcoin right now, so $1,000 bit booster right now makes about $4 or $5 a day. The reason I say $4 or $5 is because it makes Bitcoin. It doesn't make dollars, it makes Bitcoin. And so how much it makes in dollars is dependent on the price of Bitcoin. Where Bitcoin is right now, it's about it's coming up close to $5 a day. But when the price of Bitcoin is 150,000, that'll be $10 a day. When the price of Bitcoin is 240,000, that will be 20 Bitcoin a day. Okay, so you can see that it doesn't take long as the price of Bitcoin goes up for you to be able to repay the cost of one of these things. In investment terms, you'll call it return on investment, but it's not. It's just paying off the purchase price. Okay, imagine you bought yourself an ATM machine that costs you $1,000, which you wouldn't. An ATM machine typically costs about $10,000, and you make $1 or $2 from every transaction. You want to be able to repay that cost of buying that ATM, as well as there's ongoing running costs of emptying the emptying the one type of stacking up cash. I'm getting my ATMs mixed up. So replacing cash, um, maintaining the machine, make sure it's all okay, having it monitored. There's a security system built in that needs to be monitored. There's a cost associated with that. The electricity for keeping it running, the cost of having it in a shop or in a bank somewhere. They want paying for that. Okay, but it's just like that. It's an ATM that people go to. You charge people a fee, and you make money. And at some point, you're going to pay off the cost of that ATM machine. That's exactly the same as this. At some point, you're going to pay off the cost of that bit booster. And from that point forward, it's all free Bitcoin. It's all free money. Okay, now that's exciting because there's so many of these scam programs out there that you buy something and it repays you. It gives you some money at 1% a day or something like that. And then when you've made 2 times or 3 times or 4 times your initial investment, you've got to buy another one. Again, now that really cuts into your profitability because if they say, well, you've got to make 3x and then you've got to buy another one, well, you've already bought one. So when you've done 3x, you've still only made 2x in profit. And now you've got to take one of those 2x to buy another one. So you've really, on that first one, you only made 1 times profit. So you made 100% profit, sure. But look how long it took you. Okay, whereas with this, you make 100% profit within 4, 5, 6 months, and from then on, it's free. There's no return on investment consideration. So, yeah, Sean, we can do questions shortly. That's not a problem. So, what do we do? What's a bit booster? It enhances miners' profits, and they work with every mining farm in the world. Okay, we've got a couple of really big mining farms at the moment, and we've got plenty more queuing up to come and talk to us. There are some scam businesses that look very much like Bit Harvest. They look very much like Bit Boosters. Don't be fooled. They've imposed this 3 times limit on your earnings, and so every so often you have to buy another booster because that old one is now dead, which indicates to me that they don't really have miners. They don't have bit boosters working with the mining farms because you wouldn't have a business where you now have to go and unplug boosters because they're no longer working. You wouldn't go to a mining farm, unplug them all, package them all up because it's just not viable. So somebody's got 1/10 of that booster, somebody else has got 2/10 of that booster. You're not going to unplug all of them. So it's just I don't know. I've seen it. I've looked at it. It seems to me like it's a scam, and the scam is that they're not really mining. They're not hooked up to any mining farms. I've not seen any agreements they've got with mining farms, but they will be using the money from the new people coming in to pay the old people. Okay, because eventually those old people are going to get 3 times their money, and then their booster is not working anymore, and so they have to buy some newer. So now they're bringing new money into the system. So I just think the whole thing's it's pretty obvious it's a scam. The only genuine boosting activity going on is through Bit Harvest. And if I'm wrong, I apologize to anybody who's out there doing this other thing. I apologize profusely, but I've looked into it quite in depth, and I believe it to be a scam. So from your own bit boosters, you earn money every single day in BTC as a passive income. That's it. You make a payment, end of chat. You don't have to do anything else. That booster is going to make money for you. You don't have to do anything else. You earn commission on sales of bit boosters. So that's the second line of income. So you get in, you introduce somebody else, and they buy boosters, and you make a profit on that. You make a commission on that. And you also earn when that booster is switched on, the one in your group is switched on, some of that comes to you as an override commission. So you earn a percentage of all the Bitcoin that's mined in your group. You buy more bit boosters or shares to manually compound earnings. So you don't have to do it to replace dead boosters. Okay, you only need to buy more boosters if you want to have more boosters to make you more income, which of course makes sense. Is a way of starting small and building until you get something really, really big. If you've got one booster and you're making $150 or $200 a month, fine. But that's probably not going to change anybody's lifestyle. I apologize to anybody in countries where that would make a difference to your lifestyle. But you know, why not use that money that you've produced to buy another booster, double your income, and then treble and quadruple, and eventually you get to a point where you've got enough boosters that in your community, in your you know, the country where you live, in your economy, you are earning enough that that's maybe a monthly wage, or you know, monthly salary, or maybe even more, maybe enough to buy a house, buy a car, and so on. So a lot of us are buying more boosters as we go along. Boosters are an income producing asset, like a rental property or an ATM machine. And Robert Kiyosaki says that we need to acquire more income producing assets. You know, it's better to have to buy income producing assets than have the money. So strategy one, passive income, buy bit boosters, let them earn your Bitcoin for the next 5 years. And this assumes a Bitcoin price of $1 million in 5 years' time. Some of the experts believe it's going to be a lot more than that. Some of the experts believe it's going to be $1 million by the end of next year, which is only about 15 months away. So if you have one booster, you've accumulated $200,000 worth of Bitcoin in 5 years' time. If you've got 100 boosters, which cost you $100,000, you have $20 million worth of Bitcoin in 5 years' time. So very, very straightforward. Hard to believe, but the value of this, you see, you don't have to believe the value of this in me or in Wealth Warriors or in Bit Harvest or in Bit Boosters or in anything. Okay, all you need to know is that you're being paid in Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is going to be going up in price, and it might take 10 years to get to $1 million. Who knows? Might happen in 3 years. Who knows? But it's definitely going to get to $1 million at some point. Therefore, those the value of the accumulated Bitcoin on the screen right now is absolutely correct. It's just the timescale we're haggling over. Okay. So I do two. Strategy two. Okay. Is strategy two is building a group. So it's not passive income, it's active income. It's you share the business with a few friends, they get involved, they buy some boosters, they share it with their friends, they buy some boosters, and so on. And the star ranks, I'm not going to explain them, but the 1 star level, you'll have earned $350 in sales commissions as a minimum. You'll be making $128 a month from your own booster and 173 off of everybody else's booster in your group. And in 5 years' time, your Bitcoin, just your Bitcoin alone, will be worth $274,000. At the 2 star level, the one-off sales commission you'd have earned $1,100. Your own passive income is $386 every single month, and your monthly referral income is $1,100, and you make 1.3 million in 5 years. At the 3 star level, your sales commissions will be 3,000. You'll be making 643 a month. Your monthly referral income will be 3,400. So you can see that that's far, far bigger now for building a team than just your own passive income. And in 5 years, you'd have accumulated $3 million worth of Bitcoin. At the 4 star level, your sales commissions, you'd have earned $10,000. You'll be earning in Bitcoin in passive mode 1,900. In your active mode, you'll be earning $11,000 a month, and you'll have accumulated $10.9 million worth of Bitcoin. Now, that's only with Bitcoin being 1 million in 5 years' time. At the 5 star level, you will have earned 27,000 in sales commissions, 3,900 per month just in your own passive income, 34,000 in your team income, your active income, your referral income, okay, and $30 million worth of Bitcoin accumulated. And of course, that does assume that you accumulate it, not take it out and spend it along the way. I can't be responsible for you not having 30 million in 5 years' time if you spend it along the way. At the 6-star level, you'll have one-off sales commissions of 90,000. You'll have an passive income of 6,500. Okay, and you'll also have a referral income of 70,000 a month. And in 5 years' time, your Bitcoin will be worth 60 million. So they're the different strategy or different parts of strategy to hit the star ranks. I'm not going to go through 7 and 8 because they haven't been introduced just yet. Strategy 3 is just now this example is instead of buying and holding one Bitcoin, okay, you buy the same value of boosters. So assume the Bitcoin price is 70,000, okay, and it's going to be 200,000 in 2 years' time. So this isn't even a 5-year projection. If you hodl the Bitcoin for 2 years, it will be worth 200,000. But if you buy 70 boosters now and own for 2 years, you will have 4.5 million after 2 years, and you will still have 434 boosters earning 4.5 million every single year for you after that. So if you have 70,000 lying around and you're thinking, do I buy a bit boost? Do I buy 70 bit boosters, or do I just keep hold of that one Bitcoin? Okay. Well, at the moment, Bitcoin's about 65, so you treble your money, going from 65 to 200,000 in 2 years. That's pretty good. But you got the option here of making 4.5 million after 2 years, and then every year after that, make $4.5 million dollars. And of course, as the price of Bitcoin goes up, that 4.5 million goes up as well. So there's lots of different ways you can strategize BitHarvest. There's also some promotions. There's the fast start bonus. So all brand new people, when you bring a brand new person in, make sure you get them started on this fast start bonus. If they buy, they've got to buy their first booster or part of a booster, and then they sell a full booster or the equivalent in 5 different legs, and they can make $500 above and beyond what they would make anyway in the compensation plan. There's an extra $500 that they wouldn't get if they don't hit this fast start bonus. There's also a 10 Bitcoin giveaway during the month of November. The top 15 booster sellers will receive a share in 2.5 Bitcoin in 4 rounds. So it's going to be every 10 days, basically, for the next 40 days, or the next 35 days, I should say. There's also a best blogger contest. So if you are a bit of a wordsmith, or you are posting things on social media about how good BitHarvest is, just send it into the support, send in a support ticket, share with them what you're posting, and the best bloggers will win some Bitcoin. And there's also a 4-star trip to Phuket in October. Okay, so those people that have achieved 4-star, and I'm not saying a brand new person that gets involved in this now, you can't make this trip because the deadline's already been passed. But what I'm saying is there will be another trip in the future. Get in now, get working, build on it, and when the next trip comes along, free of charge, all expenses paid, 5-star resort, okay, then you'll qualify for that. But also, if you have the money, if you want to pay your airfare yourself to get there, then the company will look after you once you get there. So you can go, even if you don't qualify, you can go if you can just get there. The last one is Cryptex. Now, Cryptex is different because we didn't really want to include Cryptex. It's not a bad platform, it's not a bad program, but it does meet all of the criteria that I said about earlier. The only reason we've added it is because TLC has gone a little bit squiffy, and we've not been able to find a reasonable program to replace something that failed on us a few months ago. So Cryptex is not a bad option, but it doesn't really meet all of our criteria. It's a unified platform that combines multiple DeFi functionalities. It's a platform to allow you to make use of all-in-one investment solutions to participate in the potentials of decentralized finance. Now, these are just words. They don't mean a lot to everybody, but the basic idea is if you put in $100 now, then in 3 years' time, you can cash in $35,000 to $40,000. If you buy a 4-year plan, then that would be more than that. And if it's a 5-year plan, it'll be in excess of $50,000. You can put in 100 now, 100 next week, 100 next month. I'll go through that in a minute. Or you can buy in thousands. You don't have to just do $100. You can buy literally thousands, and plenty of people have purchased plans that are literally thousands of dollars. So you get rewarded, and what you're doing is you're providing liquidity for the program, for the trading, and you get rewarded for providing that liquidity. If they didn't use your money, they'd have to use their own money, and they'd be the ones getting the rewards. They'd rather use your money and give you some of the rewards. They'd rather share the risk or spread the risk. So there are two types of liquidity providers: passive and passive. So you contribute to vaults that manage positions with different strategies, and the active liquidity providers are those who choose to provide liquidity on one side of the market, either long or short. Again, I'm not going to go into too much of this. There's probably too much information there anyway. Minimum investment is $100. Typical payout after 3 years will be $36,000. It's been around for a little while. We know plenty of people that have been in this for a while, that have made money from it. And so we can say with a certain degree of assurity that if you put $100 into this, then you will get $36,000 out in 3 years' time. Of course, there's no guarantees on anything, ever. This is my account after 18 months. I started in May last year, so it's coming up to 17 months now. I started with $100, and my overview profits locked in now is $24,057. So that's just what's on the website. I won't know until another 18 months' time when I withdraw that. It'll be interesting to see what happens. So I've worked out a couple of strategies for you. One of them is small savings and income. So you invest $100 every quarter. So the 1st of January, 1st of April, 1st of July, 1st of October, put $100 away in Cryptex. And after 3 years, you can start withdrawing $36,000 every quarter. So then in January, you take out 36,000. In April, July, and October, you take out 36,000. So you have an annual income of 144,000 per year after 3 years. Strategy 2, a medium-sized savings and income, is you invest $100 every month. And then after 3 years, you start withdrawing $36,000 every month, giving you an annual income of almost $500,000. Okay, so if you have a savings plan where you put it aside $100 a month anyway, get into this, put your $100 a month into Cryptex. Okay, I bet your savings plan, whatever it is now, doesn't give you back $500,000 in 3 years' time, or $500,000 every year, starting from 3 years' time. So these are our adopted platforms as they are right now. We're not going to talk about property robots or fractional 3D. They were programs that we were involved with previously. Actually, sorry, yes, we will go back to that. I apologize. So both of these platforms no longer meet our criteria. They were great when we got started, but they've changed the rules. Neither platform will be promoted or supported as part of Wealth Warriors. If you have investments with them, wait for those investments to mature, then withdraw. Again, I can't give you advice, but that's what I'm doing personally. And once withdrawn, spend some and reinvest some into the other Wealth Warrior platforms. So when I get my money out from these two platforms, I'll be buying a few more boosters, putting a bit more money into Cryptex, and that's it. That's it. So we run a Telegram group. Make sure you upload an entry to that group so you can keep up to date with changes. We hold the Zoom call every Sunday at 10 o'clock UK time. Attend yourself, bring new people, and make sure your people attend. It's a shortcut to fast growth. Attend the Zoom calls of the platforms. Their schedule is published in the Telegram group, and take your people with you. And for Freedom Matrix, work your way through the webinars and books at your own pace, but get the first roadmap completed as soon as possible. So that should be matrix 3 now. I thought I spelled it wrong. So what to do now? Get the referral links for all the platforms from the person who invited you to this presentation. Register at all the opportunities to make a note of all your referral links. Pass these links on to your existing frontline members or to people that you invite to see this presentation. Make a minimum payment into all the opportunities. Again, you don't have to. Some of them you can join for free. But if you cannot do this, select the project that interests you the most and make minimum payments to get that platform started. So basically do something. Ask your introducer to be added to the Wealth Warriors Telegram group. Attend a Zoom call or watch a video for each platform that you've added funds to your account. As we add new platforms, then do the same again. Make sure to get the referral link from your upline and join as quickly as possible. Pass your referral link to your existing team and get on a presentation for that new platform as soon as possible. What you don't want is to have a line of sponsorship underneath you that's 40, 50 deep, and it takes 3 months for the links to find their way to the bottom of the group. If everybody is proactive, as soon as we introduce a new platform, you badger your upline, you say, I want your link, send me your link. Where's your link? I need your link, give me your link. Okay, so you just get it off them as quickly as possible. And then as soon as you've got it, you pass it on to your people. Okay, and there's no reason why we can't go down through 40 or 50 generations like that within a day or two. So it just needs everybody to give a sense of urgency, be a little bit proactive about it. Grow your Wealth Warriors community by bringing more people to the Wealth Warriors Zoom calls or by sharing this video from YouTube. You only have to promote, and if you are watching this on YouTube, I don't normally say this, but I should say it a lot more. Hit the like button, hit the notification button. Okay, subscribe to the channel, because it means that the YouTube algorithms, the latest version of them now, will share this video with more and more people, and it can only be good for the whole community. So you only have to promote the 1 or 2 platforms you're excited about, then bring your new members to Wealth Warriors for them to learn why they should sign up in all 4 platforms. Like I say, you only have to work 1 platform and we will tell them about the rest. Build 1 platform and have all 4 grow below you. Landing pages and marketing. You can get Wealth Warriors landing pages by signing up for free, for a free account with System.io. And then here's my link. You can download that Wealth Warriors landing page. I also have a landing page, so ignore the trade like crazy landing page. You can get a BitHarvest marketing system from a company called bitharvestpartner.com. There's a payment associated with that for 99 USDT, a one-time fee. I also have a BitHarvest landing page in System.io, and if you want to have that from me, just let me know, and I will. Well, in fact, I'm uploading it later today. I'm uploading it as a template, and then you can download it as a template. All the links are in the email rather than in the landing page. What I've done is I went to it wasn't ChatGPT, it was in Google. Now you've got Gemini, the AI bot. And I just asked Gemini to write 14 different adverts for BitHarvest and Bit Boosters, Bitcoin mining, that sort of thing. They churned out a load of stuff, and each one of those I've turned into an email. I've actually put some of you guys are on my email list, so you'll be receiving those emails. I'm not trying to get you interested in Wealth Warriors or in BitHarvest because you already are in, but I wanted to share those with you because at some point I'm going to ask for feedback on those emails, and also you get to see what they look like, so you can copy them if you want to and do the same thing. So that will be free of charge. If you get my funnels as a template, it'll be free of charge. So a quick reminder, we're building a solid foundation on which we can base our financial futures. We only work with companies that are in it for the long term. As far as we can tell, of course, we can be fooled, the same as everybody else. We are a bit more diligent now with that than we used to be. I've now looked at 192 different companies over the last 15 months, and I've rejected most of them. Okay, and certainly right now I'm rejecting pretty much everything I look at. They are all the dregs of scams. There's nothing new. There's no ingenuity. There's nothing clever about any of them. It's just the same old, warmed over yesterday's leftovers. So as far as we can, we work with companies that are in it for the long term and companies that are above board. We build a large asset, which in turn will deliver us a large income, whatever that asset is. In some cases, it's Bitcoin. In some cases, it's a staking, an amount of liquidity. In some cases, it's just the knowledge we need to break free from the system. Only platforms that meet our rigorous criteria are even considered. And in fairness, there are some platforms out there that are reasonable, but we can't get involved with them because they won't allow us to maintain lines of sponsorship. They're a binary system or a force matrix or whatever. So, that doesn't mean they're bad. It just means they don't fit what we're looking for. The whole point of this is that we apply our rules to this industry to achieve our outcomes. We can't expect anybody else to give us our outcomes if we don't do what we want. If we do what they want, they'll get what they want out of us. If we want to get what we want out of them, then we need to stick to our rules. Therefore, we're not at the mercy of any one company. Finally, it's important to remain safe on the internet and in the world of online opportunities at all times. Do not share your password or other credentials with anyone, says the man who in the last few weeks has actually taken passwords and credentials for about 10 or 15 other people to help them build their accounts. But they know who I am, they know where I am, so if anything goes wrong, I can't get away with it. But if it's strangers or they purport to be a help desk or a support desk or anything like that, don't fall for it. Don't share your password or other credentials with anyone. Where it's available, set up your 2FA on your accounts, on your BitHarvest account, on your in fact, that's the only one at the moment we've got where you need a 2FA. But where you need it, set it up. If you don't know how to do it, Google, how do I set up 2FA? Google knows all of these things. Back up your passwords and your 2FA codes in a secure location. Put it in the safe. Okay, if you don't have a safe, get a safe. Make sure the executors of your will or your beneficiaries have access to this information in the event of your death. It would be a shame for you to spend 5 years building up a small fortune in Bitcoin only for something to happen to you and your relatives, your beneficiaries don't even know you have the Bitcoin, let alone how to access it. So make sure that information gets to your executors. You can file it with them now, or you can have in your filing cabinet, you can have a letter saying, for the executors of my will, or maybe even just attach a couple of sheets of paper to your will, telling, but then you've got to make sure it falls into the right hands. So get back to the person who invited you on this call or who referred you to this video. They're ready and waiting to help you avoid scams, protect your permanent network, and create immense personal wealth for you. So that's the end of the Wealth Warriors presentation. So I'm going to stop my share. We'll go back to the room. I'm going to just check that I know everybody. No, everybody except Sigma. You were on one of our calls the other day. Preston, obviously, know you. Clay, I think you were on one of our calls the other day as well. So I'm gonna allow everybody to unmute. Anybody who wants to unmute can. If anybody wants to publish or to put messages in the chat saying all sorts of ridiculous things, then we'll just boot you from the call. But meanwhile, I'm going to stop the recording.
I want to see you win. I want to see you absolutely smash every single dream you have. I want to see you overcome all of the barriers you face, and I want to see you succeed. I'm your biggest fan, your top supporter, and I'll be with you every single step of the way. You're destined for greatness, with or without me, and I want to see you achieve. Your potential is limitless, and your determination is inspiring. Keep striving for your goals, and I'll continue to cheer you on.